Hey, what's up, guys and girls? It's Jesse Daley here in the Caribbean. My friends, we have a lot going on in the Atlantic Basin, including Erin, and it could potentially threaten the Caribbean. Will it come this way? Will it come to the U.S., the mainland? Let's check it out. Thank you so much for being on the channel. Let's jump right into the 11 a.m. update on August 13th from the National Hurricane Center for Tropical Storm Erin. Now, as most of you know, I am in the U.S. Virgin Islands, so I've been watching this really closely for myself, of course, but also to help share all of this information with all of you that may be in the Caribbean, and of course other areas as well in the Atlantic Basin. So as of Wednesday at 11 a.m., I'm feeling a little more confident that the system will stay, the core of the system will stay north of the Caribbean islands. At least many of the computer forecast models that the meteorologists and forecasters use and rely upon are in better agreement today of a turn to the west-northwest, and that would keep the storm offshore. However, it's not guaranteed, and there are a few things we still need to talk about, even though that is some good news, certainly, that the computer models are in better agreement today, keeping this offshore, the core of the system. But, and there's a big but there, we have to deal with the potential of, well, this still could track farther south, but regardless, in the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, the northern leeward islands, we're still going to feel some effects, even if this does stay offshore, including rain bands, possibly some flooding, mudslides, and definitely, I don't want to say definitely because weather changes all the time, but very likely choppy seas and rip currents that'll be very dangerous. So, and some gusty winds too. We're not like completely out of the woods by any means, and we still could even see tropical storm watches go up. I'll be watching that for you very closely. But I will, I'll keep you posted on as I see things. But I do want to show you, this is a courtesy of tropicaltidbits.com. This is infrared satellite imagery of Tropical Storm Erin. As we can see, Erin is still struggling a little bit. She is moving a little bit south of due west, and that is because of what is known as the Bermuda High, a strong area of high pressure. It's a semi-permanent area of high pressure located in the Atlantic Ocean. I'll just show you really quick right here. It's near, positioned typically between Bermuda and Portugal, the islands of Portugal known as the Azores. So sometimes you'll hear the term interchanged, the Bermuda High or the Azores High. We're talking about areas of high pressure over the Atlantic Basin that influence, especially during hurricane season, influence the steering of these storms. So we see this little dip down here by 45-ish west longitude, not far right now from where Tropical Storm Erin is currently located. We see that little dip, and then before it turns, that dip is being caused by the clockwise flow of wind from high pressure, so it's kind of pushing it down. But the question that I have been, asking myself and concerned about the entire progression of this storm is how far south is that storm going to get pushed? Because if we look right now, it is moving a little bit south of due west, right around 16 north latitude. Now, to put things in perspective, St. Croix in the Virgin Islands, where I'm at, is located around 17 north latitude, and St. Thomas and around Puerto Rico is located around 18 north latitude. There's about 70 miles of distance between lines of latitude. So every mile kind of like matters when you have islands that are up and down, these lines of latitude. So if Tropical Storm Erin dips farther south than the projected path here, I think things could get tricky, because that would then shift the track further south and further closer to the islands. Now, again, that doesn't look like that's going to happen right now, but it's still a possibility. I just feel like it's important to share that, like, even with the best computer models and the best meteorologists that are out there, there's still things that can happen. So it's important to be prepared regardless. So again, we as I had mentioned, even if the storm stays offshore, we will still likely have some impacts from Erin, and again, rough seas, rain, some wind. And I'll keep you posted on all of that. Now, I do want to show you just really quickly a look at some of the latest ensemble models right here. This was released at 12 Zulu time, which is 8 a.m. East Coast time. And again, see that most models are in a pretty good agreement here, but it's going to be a close call. I mean, let's just put it that way. It's going to come close. And if we look over at Google DeepMind, the Weather Lab AI. I think this is an absolutely incredible AI model. We can see that, I mean, this cone of uncertainty is really right on the edge of islands such as Anguilla, Antigua, Barbuda, St. Kitts, and Nevis, and the British Virgin Islands and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So, even some of these are outside, these tracks are these model members are tracking outside of the cone of uncertainty. So lots to watch. Again, these little dots you see are other future tropical waves that may develop. We're looking at into the future here at August 23rd. So it's going to be busy. We've got a few other tropical waves that will be coming off the west coast of Africa, as we see in this Global Tropics Hazards Outlook prediction that was released yesterday. And the shaded lines are indicative of a 20 to 40% chance of cyclonic development. The deeper red is a 40 to 60% chance of cyclonic development. And that so that's both the Atlantic Basin and also the Eastern Pacific Basin. Things are going to be busy. So it's just really important, my friends, to stay prepared. Don't let your guard down, because I've noticed, interestingly, that when there's any talk of a system going north, people tend to then kind of let their guard down and say, okay, it's just going to go north, it'll be fine. But like, we don't know that 100% yet. So it's looking like it will pass, the core of the storm will pass north, at least of the Caribbean. But we have to watch, the Bahamas, Bermuda, and the east coast of the U.S. That turn out to sea is likely to happen, not definitive. So it's just important to keep all this in mind. Follow the National Hurricane Center. I believe that the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration hurricane hunters have flown out of Barbados, which is down south here, to investigate the storm. And we should have more information about Erin at that time. But as of now, we're getting updates, official updates from the National Hurricane Center every 8 hours right now, I believe it is, or every 6 hours, so we'll get another update around 5 p.m. East Coast time, Atlantic Standard Time. So anyway, my friends, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe. I will be here throughout hurricane season in the Virgin Islands, and I'll be keeping an eye on everything for you. Stay safe and lots of love, and I'll keep an eye on the tropical skies come rain or shine.